Welcome back to Combat Gear Reviews. Today I will be reviewing the Combat Corner 6-ounce MMA gloves. So these are a little different than the MMA gloves I've reviewed in the past, as these are actual MMA gloves, not training gloves. So the main difference you'll see is instead of having a big pad on the top like these training gloves do, they're individual fingers, so easier to move your fingers around for grip and for grappling. But the real main difference between MMA gloves and training gloves is this right here. So aside from there not being a big pad like these training gloves, this padding is much harder than the training glove padding. So you're going to hit harder, your opponent's going to feel it more. So that's why these aren't the greatest gloves for training. That being said, if you have an amateur fight coming up, a lot of amateur organizations do use 6-ounce gloves instead of 4-ounce gloves, which are common for pros. So before that fight, you might want to have real experience with the gloves that you're going to be wearing during the fight. So maybe in that final, 4 weeks of your fight camp, it would be a good time to switch to these gloves, especially for grappling, heavy training where you're not really killing each other on the feet. This would be perfect to get used to. As with all Combat Corner stuff, it's super high quality. This has the double wrist wraps, so it comes completely apart, which is really nice for cleaning because, as we all know, combat gear can get pretty gross after using it for quite a while. So this wrist strap here adds a lot of extra wrist support, which I like a lot. A lot of these MMA gloves are just a single wrap, which is fine, but if you want a little extra wrist support, this is nice for sure. They fit great. I have a XL here, which is pretty common, and they feel awesome. They're super high quality. These have lasted me years. I've used these through fight camps, and like I said before, I switched to them, and it gives you a more realistic version of training, more real to what you're actually going to see in the fight versus using the big old puffy ones. These are harder to grapple in, and your opponents can grab onto them, whereas these, not quite as much to grab onto like you're going to see in your real fight. So all in all, as I've always said about Combat Corner gear, it's awesome. I love it. And if you need some 6-ounce MMA gloves to get ready for your amateur fight, I recommend these. Thanks, guys.